Awesome, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. So Elias is out in Tennessee today, but he still wanted to have group coaching with us all today because we all know how impactful Wednesdays are. So Jeff Phillips and I are going to be co-hosting group coaching today, and we are going to talk all things market, how the market's going, where we're seeing it, things like this. But first and foremost, let's get someone to take us out on the field. Jeff, why don't you pick someone to take us out on the field? If you guys want to be the one to take us out on the field, please make sure that your camera is on.
All right, for sure. Jess, you mind taking us out on the field? I just seen your videos going crazy. I see you there. Basically, all you gonna do is hype up your people, let them know, get them ready for battle. You know, you got the gift of gab. Let's see what you do with it.
Me, Jess?
Yes, you, Jess.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've never done this before. What am I supposed to do?
Okay, so basically what you're basically doing is, if you think about like a sports team or just rallying your troops, you're just going to give some words of encouragement, words of life to our people as we're about to start this process for group coaching. There's no pressure. Let it roll from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Just be thankful, be grateful, be present, and go ahead and shoot from the hip.
You know what? I was just living through some testimony this morning. So I think I told y'all yesterday that my goal this year is to be 100% referral-based, SOI. All of my leads are going to come from social media. Y'all mark my words. And this is with zero or little to no money into marketing on social media. And so all of that to say, when I say that to some agents, they look at me cross-eyed like I'm fucking crazy. And I promise you guys, at the end of this year, y'all are going to hear me say that I hit my goal and I did it the way that I said I was going to. And what's so beautiful in it all is, if you do social media, which I highly suggest you do, you need to fucking be yourself. That's how you're going to quickly get to your audience. Don't care about what people are going to say. People are going to talk shit, period. You could be the most vanilla person online and they will still talk shit about you. So that is my advice to you, is when people look at you cross-eyed, that means that your dreams are big and they scare the shit out of other people, and they should scare you too. Sometimes I question if what I'm doing is right, and then God will remind me very quickly. Like last week, I got 10 leads from Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
There we go.
$0 down, and I'm just living my life and being just the bling realtor with her crazy fucking long nails and profanity. And I even used the hashtag boss bitch. I was so scared because I'm like, oh, people are scared of profanity. And then I'm like, I wouldn't be offended if somebody was like, hey, boss bitches, I'm talking to you. So I'm talking to myself. So anyway, there we go. That's what it is.
Love it.
Drop that secret sauce.
Yes.
Was that good? Is that right?
Yep, that was amazing. There you go. Shoot from the hip. That's exactly what we want. The authentic.
Perfect.
Can you drop some secret sauce on that 10 leads?
Yeah, it's literally who asked that? Sorry, I didn't see her. Oh, hey girl, hi. So pretty much I've been posting 3 to 4 times a day on TikTok. And I think that in general, this is just my personal opinion, there are so many realtors on social media that are all talking about the same stuff. What's the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval? Why should I be pre-approved? Blah, 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 blah. It's so boring. Like, be you and post videos about things that you like to do too. I'm not saying don't do the real estate stuff. You need to remind them that you're doing it. But in between, post things. I like to eat. I like to work out, and I love music. So I'm constantly posting in rotation different small business spotlights, food hacks, me at the gym, just real life stuff. So that is what it is. And it's taken me from posting the cookie cutter real estate stuff to now you'll see most of my social media is now personal. And I only share what I want to. People are like, oh, well, what if I get too personal and people start to judge me? Good, they're going to judge you regardless. But you can post what you feel comfortable with. There's so much about my life that a lot of people don't know.
I love it.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Jess, for dropping those gems. Like that's us, right? Be you, but fast. That's us. For sure.
Don't be scared.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome, you guys. So today's convo, you know, it's Wednesdays. Let's talk about the market. The biggest thing that we get asked if we're out at the grocery store, we're filling up the gas tank, we're at the gym working out. What is the first question someone asks you when they find out you're a realtor? Let's hear it. Go ahead, Daniela.
How's the market?
How's the market? That's right, girl. How's the market? So Daniela, let's hear from you. You've got listings going on the market. You're going pending. You've got buyers that are looking after just a short year of putting in blood, sweat, tears, and God-given grit. Let's hear it, girl. How is the market?
Okay, well, thankfully interest rates have come down, so that has buyers very excited, and they want to start looking for homes. Also, people have come to terms that interest rates are not going to go back down to the 2s and the 3s. So people are doing what they can because people still need to buy. So lots of excitement and very little inventory. So that puts you in an advantage as a seller because people need homes. And as a buyer, it really is important with who you align because the more that agent knows, the better chances you have of getting into that house.
I love it. Amen, for sure. And yes, thank God. Thank goodness those interest rates dropped. Oh my gosh, that was
Oh
amazing.
yeah. Yeah, and you know what's crazy? For the listing that I have in Oakland, we saw a lot of interest, and you know that's a whole thing. But that market is so different than the market out here in Bay Point, because I just put like a quick picture of the coming soon that I have in Bay Point, and I already have agents like asking me, well, can I see it? Can I come? You know, when is it going to be ready? And so because I don't focus on Oakland because I'm out here in like Pittsburgh, Concord, Bay Point. So I know more about that market, but it's still, you know, needed to tell your buyers like, look, this is what we're seeing over here. Now, if we open up our search, this is also what we're seeing in the other market.
And as far as your Oakland listing, have you guys already started receiving offers, right?
Yeah, but it's I guess it could be a teaching moment too. The house that we have, you know, there's some stuff going on with it. So of course that's going to put buyers at like, oh my gosh, but the days on average in Oakland, it's like about 30. The days on average in Bay Point is 9. So of course there's going to be way more excitement for the listing in Bay Point. Now we have interest, we have people that we're like in conversations with, but it's just moving so much faster out here in Bay Point. And it could be because the houses are bigger, it's a better price point for some people, but still being able to tell the difference between both markets, I feel has really helped my conversations with buyers and now with sellers.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
I love that. And that is absolutely true, especially out here at Bay Point. There's like 8 houses on the market. Like it's crazy because, well, one, if you guys don't know, Bay Point was actually used to be Pittsburgh. They then split it up. It's really just North Pittsburgh if you talk to an OG like that knows Pittsburgh. But when they see that inventory, it looks like this. There's only 11 houses on the market at a time. So that's great. Now, is anybody seeing any patterns that they want to talk? Yeah, West Pittsburgh, exactly. So any patterns that you guys are seeing as far as like offers going, anything that you guys are seeing in regards to like how you guys are structuring your offers? Has anybody gotten an offer accepted, or from your listing, anything that you're seeing from your offers?
Hey, good morning. This is Quan. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Hit the Quan. Hit the Quan.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, yeah, thank you guys for for sharing that. And so I've been doing open houses in different markets in the past several weeks with different partners. 2 weeks ago, we were at a $2 million house in San Francisco, and then last week we were in Corte Madera, 1.5, and we're seeing a lot of activity on both days, Saturdays and Sundays. All in the double digits by the end of the week in terms of activity. Buyers are not backing down. And then, in terms of the offer activity, I have a couple active clients in Oakland. There was a house on 42nd Street in the Longfellow district. And it was listed for what was it? It was 1.175 and it went 1.3 non-contingent. So we're definitely seeing the multiple offers come back on. And then the past 2 days, 3 more buyers came back in the market because that new program, the Dream for All program, just came online. So I think, if you have buyers lined up, we're going to be super busy for, until that money dries up. But yeah, and also, going back to what you guys are saying, low inventory all across the board, very, very low inventory. Like Madero had like 8 listings, and even in like San Francisco and Oakland, everywhere, compared year up month over month or year over year, ridiculous, like 20-30% lower. So yeah, it's gonna be I'm hoping we're not going back into like crazy bidding war situation, but we're definitely seeing like much higher like over ask if you really want to win the offer.
Definitely. Quan, those 3 buyers that you had come back on, Quan, tell us about how you got them re-engaged, or did they just reach out to you? Give us some talk about that.
Yeah, so I've been reaching out to like a lot of my SOI for the past several weeks prior to this the Dream for All program really launching, knowing that a lot of people are anticipating, because I've been hearing like anecdotally that like lenders already have like have this many, like people lined up for this program. And knowing, because this particular program has such a wider pool of participants, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't want to get, off topic, but, you can make 282,000 in Alameda County or Contra Costa County, or 300,000 in San Mateo and San Francisco, and the government would pay 20% of your home. You'd be an idiot not to get in on this program. So, I think like, I mean, it's only $300 million in this program, so it's probably going to run out really fast. So and that's what I've been telling people, and I'm not telling people like, tell them you got to get on, but I'm just like, like letting them the facts, and then the conclusion that these people are arriving themselves is like, so you're saying I should probably get on this program ASAP? I'm like, yeah, and also the only way you can qualify for this program is to actually getting escrow. You can't just say like, hey, I'm interested in this program, let me get in line. There's no such thing. It's first come, first serve. So that has really reinvigorated the urgency for a lot of folks that weren't even like, that kind of put things on the sideline. So it's just really that word of mouth, and and letting people know, anybody who's been interested, they should get on this program ASAP.
Love that, man, for sure. And I like that you were proactive in your approach. You didn't wait till the day it came out like a lot of folks did. You had been telling your SOI about it beforehand. And real quick, I saw Catalina is on, you guys, the Fairway. It reminded me the Fairway team is going to be doing this CalHAPA like workshops for us. So I don't know, Catalina, do you want to tell us about those workshops and what we can expect from those?
Yes. Hi, good morning, everybody. Yes, well, we had our first one yesterday at the Hayward office, and we're trying to put them, I think the next one is going to be in Stockton, another one in Wanakers last week, and then Oakland. And just to kind of give you the actual guidelines, because I know everybody's been talking about it for the longest, and especially social media, but now we know the specifics. So it's a great product. I agree with you guys. This is not going to last, but one thing that we are noticing is that a lot of the people that are applying have great income, great credit, and they have money. So the more that the word is out there, we're going to get a lot of people that are going to apply and will qualify, going FHA or conventional, even if this, obviously the funds are going to run out. But I think it was just such an amazing program to market, right? And just be out there, the marketing this specific product. We got, I think, between Monday, Tuesday, we must have got about 40 applications, and most of them are like, again, people that are making like over $200,000 a year combined. with money and great credit, no debt. I was like, oh my God. So we've been working very long hours and we're going to be working the weekend. So to cover this product. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I know the rates would eventually get better. Watch for May 10th.
May 10th.
May 10th, right? One thing good about the product also is that FHA has announced that they're going to allow the clients to do a one-time refinance without having to pay the obviously the funds back. So it's just a one-time thing as long as it's a rate and term, obviously. So that's another great thing about the product. So we'll be out there, just try to join us and we'll give you a lot more details on it.
Amazing. Thank you. And you guys can find those register where you can go to register is in Slack. Or I know that Fairway's been throwing it on their story as well. So make sure that you're following on Instagram. And Jeff, I'll let you take it from here.
Cool. I see we got Otis hand up. Go ahead and shoot from the hip, my brother.
Yeah, this program is the program that keeps on giving, like Catalina just said, that they're allowing that. And then if you look at it, shout out to my girl Steffi, she posted a very helpful post yesterday about how that rate is kind of lower right now than what rates are currently right now. So this is a very good conversation starter for the people that have a hard time trying to get to clients, whether you're door knocking, whatever you're doing to get this client per se, this buyer per se. It's just, really understanding what this program has so you can deep dive. Also take the time, like Catalina just said, one of my really go-to lenders, Christina, she was up from like 5 a.m. to like damn near like 11 that first day. So they're busy, they're processing applications. So they might not be able to get back to you as quickly as they used to. So try having that conversation early in the morning, try going to their office, try to invite them to come next to you so they can be as ready for you and your client, because people are pushing these things through at a massive rate. And like we know, it's 3 to 20, 4 and 6,000 people are going to probably benefit of that, if that. So this is a really good time before rates really start to pummel down where more buyers come. So just get your shit together. You know what I mean? Because like they said, people are out there with money and we need to really start servicing the people that don't have the money who this program is really for. So, just do your homework and get out there and get this.
Love it. Love it. Colette, I see your hands up, and then Daniela had a really great
check
in the chat.
Check 1 2 test. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I attended yesterday's event. Thank you, team A team. I'm calling you guys the A team. That's your new name now. Team Alvarado. A team. What? They did a bomb job yesterday, just going through all the details of the program. Honestly, you guys, I don't know if this shit's gonna be around next week. Okay, so get on it quick. It is a conversation starter, and what we've already heard from Catalina just now is that folks with money are coming after this. Every time there's some free money to be had or some assistance money to be had, guess who gets it first? They're on top of it. Okay, so we got to be on the phone. I was at the meeting yesterday, texting all my people that I know are struggling, trying to get in the market. Come on, let's get this. Now, there is a class that has to be taken, so there's time for that. It's about an 8-hour course, but you can speed through it if you want it bad enough. There's some other limitations. There's lots of limitations around who gets the money, so that will keep it on the shelf a little bit longer. But it's for first-time home buyers only. For a single-family home, it can have an ADU, but it cannot be a multifamily. There's all these different things. There is the one-time refi, which is a great selling point because you've got that, rates a little bit higher. Boom, you can get out of that later without a penalty, prepayment penalty. So anyway, just get on the line as quick as you can. Think about it, guys. We're talking about what 300 million. Is it 300 million?
Yeah, it's 300 million.
300 million. Okay. You talking about 300 people to go and get this money.
It's going to be.
Think about our market. Average $1 million, for a shack. Come on. That money's gone. So hurry up and shop it. And even after it's gone, keep shopping it because it take a minute for people to catch up. Love you. Bye.
Exactly. Jess, I seen your hand come up next. What's your contribution?
Really quickly before I hop off, this program, I have a client and I say only 900K because you guys get our market, but they were only able to qualify for 900K. And with this program, we got them bumped up to almost 1.2 million. And with that 900K, they could not be in their desired area. And so someone said people with money are going to come after this. Like these people are like, hey, let's hop on let's go look at houses. And I'm like, okay, well, let's hop on a Zoom first. Let's see what we can get you as far as inventory goes, and then let's map this out. So people are moving very quickly on this, but the beauty of it is they wouldn't have been able to qualify for a house in the Fremont area. They would have had to move to Hayward or outer skirts too. So if you guys have people that are right on the cusp, this is a great program.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. And yes, it definitely does impact the buyer's purchase ability. And that's one of the big talking points. Joellen, I seen your hand go up next.
This is just for marketing purposes. Don't forget to market in your next door. I have 17 RSVPs for my first time home buyer seminar this Saturday. 17, and I got 10 out of the marketplace on Facebook. I take all my social media videos, like the one that I recently did on it, and I dropped it into Nextdoor. I created an event in Nextdoor, the Eventbrite, and people are also already filling out the application and they haven't even showed up to the event. So consider your little small pockets of your neighborhoods.
I love that. I love that. And I just wrote that down. I didn't even think of Nextdoor to just blasting it out there, because you're going to have buyers, you're going to have sellers on there, but you're also going to have family members, cousins, friends. Oh, wait, this program, I need to pass it over to someone else. So that's a really, really good point. Thank you for that.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, just to touch on what Joellen said. Joellen does a really great job of not just depending on Instagram. I know a lot of us, it's like, oh, go create content. We automatically assume just do it for Instagram. No, Joellen has done a really, really great job of using other platforms to grow her brand, to increase her business. It's not just Instagram, people. And I'm not going to make this a social media talk because y'all know I could talk for hours about it, but tap into other platforms because there are other people out there and nobody is creating content for them. The 2 listings that I have, I got both of them from Facebook. So definitely, Joellen, great job. I need to hop on Nextdoor app because of you.
Well, also, yeah, I've got listings. I got 5 buyers now already pre-approved from Nextdoor. I'm repurposing all of this information into Nextdoor. And now guess what? I went to a restaurant the other day in the neighborhood, and this lady goes, "Are you a teacher out here?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "You look so familiar." And I said, "Are you on Nextdoor?" She's like, "Yeah." And then I busted out my business card that goes to my Nextdoor. She's like, "That's you, that's you." And then the guy next to me goes, "You're a realtor?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to buy a commercial property." Got his information. I mean, so, and it's just being localized, you know what I mean? In the little pockets where you can get seen. So in your neighborhoods.
Yes.
Thank you, Daniela. Thank you guys.
I love that. I love it. Quan, I seen your hand go up. What's your contribution, brother?
That was fire, Joanne. Thank you so much, Joanne. Sorry. I have a observation and a question. So what I'm seeing is terms starting to change all over again. Like, from October to December, January, a lot of homes, were accepting FHA, even in the higher price ranges. And now that the market is starting to shift all over again because of low inventory, I'm starting to see, at least in like the 800s range in like the Oakland, and kind of all over the area, less of that. More homes are now just kind of cash in, conventional. I'm just wondering if other folks are seeing that too, is there like specific price ranges where you're still seeing FHA being accepted, or that's kind of going away because of the inventory crunch?
That is such an amazing question, Quan. I know that, and let's take this. That's such a good question. Let's take this and hear from different marketplaces. So like Joellen's market, I saw Chris was on. I'd love to hear about the Sacramento market. I know that in Martinez, because there's such low inventory, when I pull my MLS to see which homes have sold with conventional cash and FHA, I mean, there's like maybe 1 or 2 that have sold with FHA that are detached homes, and that's for any price range, bottom, 400,000 all the way up to like the 2 million range. I'm not really seeing FHA being accepted across the board. I see Joellen shaking her head. So let's hear real quick. Joellen, tell us about in your neck of the woods, what you're seeing FHA conventional. And then Chris, if you've got a moment, I can tell you're in the car, but would love to hear from you as well. You're muted, babe.
It's definitely more conventional, and I'm wondering if the appraisals are not as strong, like they're getting cut back on FHA. Also, some of the properties might be a little bit more distressed, but I heard something with the appraisals that are going on with FHA, so I'm not sure. Maybe Catalina can elaborate on that, because I've noticed that too.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I have never had any issues with an FHA appraisal at all. I've been doing this for 22 years, and the FHA and the conventional, the only difference between the two is peeling paint. Other than that, there's really no other issues whatsoever. Unless you have an appraiser that is new to the business and doesn't really know what they're doing. But I've never seen the value, never had any issues either. FHA versus conventional. The funny thing is that there's some agents out there that, and it's hard for me to understand this, agents that do FHA with down payment assistance, and they do over 100 units a year. And that's all they do, down payment assistance. So what are they doing, right? That and most of their business is FHA. So I don't know whether, again, what approach should they take? I know having conversations with the listing agents is huge. You got to get your lender involved. You got to make sure that your lender's texting, not so much calling, because they don't take your calls anymore, but texting is definitely it. We had, I think she's out on maternity leave. What's her name? Melody. I'm sorry. Melody had a situation where the client was not able to qualify for more than like 730, took over the file, got it to 765. And I got on a call with the listing agent, and in reality, I didn't even do the talking. I think when the listing agents can sense that the lender knows what they're doing, he did all the talking and got a contract. And he didn't, at first he was hesitant because the previous lender had told them that there was no way to go up higher than 730, and they wanted 765. So, again, having those conversations with the listing agents is key.
I love that. I love that a lot. And that is super key. And also just when like markets get scary and stuff like that, sometimes us as agents on the buy side, we're going to have to articulate for our clients. We're going to have to go to bat for our clients, because there's some agents that are going to go back to their ways. Like when they're getting offers, they're like, oh, okay, well, we can go FHA, we can go conventionals, whatever. But then when it gets scarce, they're like, oh, wait, I remember back in the day, I wasn't going to take those FHA offers because we think it's harder or something like that. I've done FHA. It is streamlined. There are things you got to look out for, but you can articulate, hey, I got somebody for this. I got somebody for that. If something comes up, my lender knows how to get through this. My lender will call you. My lender will do this. Articulating and going to bat for your clients will definitely help you. Dominique, since we're on the appraisal aspect, I wanted to see if I see your hand up if you wanted to jump in.
Yes, let me take me off of video. I just wanted to say that the requirements for FHA are a little more longer than conventional. And so what we have to do when we go there is usually for conventional, we don't check appliances, we don't turn them on, we don't check water pressure for conventional, but for FHA, those are the things that we have to do. So run several water systems at the same time, make sure that the water pressure is sufficient enough, and then turn on the turn on the appliances, like the make sure the refrigerator is working, make sure that if it has a hood, the hood works properly for ventilation. And then as far as attics, for conventional, we don't go into attics. However, we have to at least take a picture, get on a ladder, take a picture if we can't fully go in, and make sure that it is insulated well, there's no wiring. We also have to check crawl space for FHA. So those are some of the many things that there is a big list. And what we usually do for FHA is that in order for us to not have, because it's so much to look at compared to the conventional inspections, we bring a list with us and you just check it off as you go, because the lender needs a very specific appraisal done. And so termite, that has to be like sufficient enough, and actually no termite. And so the detailed of an FHA inspection is way more intense. So conventional will go in, and of course we do our job and we look at the roof and things of that sort. If we see things, I mean, it's as is, right? All appraisals are as is, it's in the contract. So, I mean, you'll go in, you'll say, hey, we see, you know, a couple shingles missing or whatever. We may see maybe a bubble in the wall that shows water intrusion. However, it doesn't seem to be super, you know, like it doesn't seem to affect the property as much. However, with FHA, it won't fly as well. Some lenders are like, I used to work with Rocket Mortgage. They're very intense with those kind of things. So if we mention it, it has to be, and then I have to call out an inspector like, hey, I think that maybe we should get a termite inspection, and the lender would then take it from there. But the FHA requirements are very more intense. So what I can do is I can actually show a FHA appraisal checklist so that you guys can kind of see. And then maybe if you have an FHA client, seller that is wants to know if they can have an FHA client come in, then you can be able to see that. So I can draft that up and send it out maybe on Slack or something.
That would be incredible if we can get that. And we need to get you on stage to talk about this like long form, because I just got so schooled. Like, I didn't realize that for FHA, they had to go into the attic, but it makes sense because I've had attics called out before with knob and tube wiring. Dominique, thank you so much. Anything that you could provide for us on Slack would be super helpful. Even if it was just like a Word doc, you don't need to make it pretty at all. Like, just throw up some knowledge and we would all genuinely appreciate it.
I will bring the really pretty. I will bring the food if you will do some trainings with us. Like, we'll have a full on like event for our team if you want to do that.
Absolutely. Well, I'll jump on a Zoom call with you and Cynthia if you want, and we can try to get something together.
Love that. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be amazing, you guys? Yeah, let's get some reactions, right? Like, that would be incredible. Leah says, I can bring the alcohol. Love it. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm glad that question directed us there. I still see a couple hands up, a couple new ones. Juan, Paulette, are those new or old? Okay, you guys are good. Wanda, your hand is
No,
up.
I actually.
Oh, you haven't.
It was new.
Here, Paulette, and then Wanda next.
On the topic of the FHA, yeah, I think it's about, you know, a lot of it is about educating the listing agents. It is about how much skin in the game. You know, they're typically 3% down. There is the longer checklist. So if the property has issues, that agent might shy away from that because they don't want to have to disclose a bunch of new stuff that comes up. But FHA, VA, whatever, those are all solid. That's still green money. And those people need homes too. So when we're representing these people, we need to be their advocate and be out front educating that listing agent about, you know, it's easier in a slow market, and it's easier in a certain price bracket. But it's our job to get those clients into those properties.
Amen. Amen to that for sure.
Can I add to that, Colette? You know, I really think you guys need to embrace FHA. The sooner the better. there's a lot of guidance that have changed in the conventional where people are not going to be able to qualify as much because the debt to income ratio for the most part, especially now, it's 45% versus FHA, you can go up to 56%. So a lot less people will qualify for a conventional versus the FHA. And then if the FICO score is under 680, the mortgage insurance is going to be way much higher on a conventional versus an FHA, where they just drop it to 0.55. So we've seen a lot of having to go from conventional into an FHA, even if they had like the 5% down, because they won't be able to qualify for as much on a conventional. So again, I think educating the listing agent and educating ourselves to be able to write a lot more FHA buyers.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then Wanda, I see you had your hand up for a contribution.
Oops.
Oh,
Hello?
was it a hand or was it a?
It was a hand. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, my
Okay.
friend.
My laptop speaker is broke, so I'm having to use my phone, and I'm not as familiar with doing Zoom on my phone. So the mode, okay, now I see my face.
There
Okay.
you go.
I just wanted to contribute that I've actually seen appraisal issues, even with conventional, with 20% down. Last spring, I sold 2 houses on one lot in Manteca, and it was a 20 or even maybe a 25%, and the appraiser required the buyer to change. Well, he didn't care which one, the seller or buyer, do it, but he called a door that he said was an interior door that was from the kitchen to the outside. And he called the hot water heater because even though it worked, it had like rust stains on it. It looked terrible, like it didn't work, but it did work. And the buyer was actually a contractor. So he basically cleaned the hot water heater off and certified that it worked and changed the door out. And the appraiser accepted an invoice from him saying, this is my license and I'm certifying that they work. And then they approved it. So sometimes it just depends on what things are. What I've seen more of, even with conventional or FHA for sure, dry rot. Yeah, anytime on the exterior or wherever it is, they will call dry rot really quick. And of course, with FHA, sometimes when I'm working with FHA buyers, I will tell them, or VA, certain times you show houses, they may not have a stove in there at all. And I always tell my clients, to get one of these houses, sometimes you have to spend money on a house before you own it. You know, we're going to start seeing distressed properties, more of them, because of what's about to hit the market. And so to get those buyers in those houses, sometimes they have to buy stuff for a house they don't own yet, if they want that house. And so I've had some of my clients do that, purchase a stove, oven, whatever it is. And I actually had an appraiser show me, well, not an appraiser, a home inspector and an appraiser was at the house at the same time. But the appraiser was outside and I had discovered that an oven didn't work and the appraiser was there and it was a FHA. The inspector showed me a trick. He went in the cabinet. He went in the cabinet, put a cast iron skillet on top of the stove, heated that sucker real hot, and then he stuck it in the oven and closed it up. And then when the appraiser came in and turned the oven on, the light was coming on, but it wasn't heating. And he went, woo, when he opened that oven, it was so hot. He said, woo, this is working good. And that was how my buyer got his appraisal certified without having to replace the oven before we closed escrow. That was a trick that the inspector showed me.
I love it. I love it. Trick of the
I've never
trade.
heard of that.
Yeah, for real. That's I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep a cast iron in the back truck. You know what I'm saying? We need the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide. Now we just need to add the cast iron in the back too.
Right? I
Well,
will
nothing was coming on. The light was coming on, but there was no, it really wasn't working. The heat element must have been burned out. So it was an oven. And so after heating that cast iron and closing it up in that oven, it just made it a lot of heat come out when he opened the door. He was, oh yeah, that works. And he just closed it back up.
Well, thank you for letting me know that trick when I go on inspections.
Right? I will say though, be really cautious, you guys, of advising, because I'll tell you just from experience, I've had an FHA buyer say, yeah, I'm gonna do a couple things because the appraiser said that they had to be done for it to qualify. The buyer decided that they were going to have things done. The seller agreed to it. Guess what? That contract did not go to fruition. That buyer paid for stuff to be done to that property. They're not going to see that money back. So just be real. It is a thin, fine line. And if it's an FHA buyer, Lord knows we're scraping by to get that 3.5% down, right? So just be really cautious, even if they think, oh, you know, it's just one window. Yeah, that's possibly going to cost you $500. We don't have $500 to just throw out. So just, it's a fine line, you know your clients really well is the big thing. If they can, go without an oven for a couple weeks before they get a new oven in, sure. But just, it's a fine line. And I've seen it go both ways. I've seen it work really well. And I've also seen a client not get to fruition with the property. So just word to the wise. Thank you for that contribution, Wanda, though. That was a hoot of a story for sure. Real quick, I wanted to make sure we got back to Chris. Chris, are you able, I see you're on your walk. Are you able to give us an update about your market and how it's going up there?
Yeah, I could give you a couple examples of last couple deals. So on listing, really low inventory. There's probably one other comparable on the market. I'm still seeing low inventory everywhere. Tons of people open house, maybe like 20 families minimum every day. We did it 3 days in a row. And then we got offer over list price, $2 grand over list price, but we did give 10 grand in credits. So not, we didn't have multiple offers, but it's busy and you'll get the right offer if it's priced right. As far as buyers, we actually showed a home over the weekend, and now agents are starting to say offers are due by Tuesday, Wednesday, when before they're like, we review whatever comes in. So you're kind of seeing the market take that toll because the inventory is low. And I'm starting to advise my daughter on one of his clients, put in escalation clause. So it's that weird balance where it's good for sellers and it's good for buyers, but it's still tight inventory. And I'm waiting for more to come in the market. So that's pretty much how it is. Sounds like that's kind of the general thing all over in Northern California, low inventory, and it's still pretty competitive. And if the house price right, it's going to sell right away. So that's what I'm seeing.
That's awesome, Chris. Thank you. And you brought something up, offer due dates. Let's see by a show of hands, give us a reaction, you guys. Are you seeing more offer due dates put on listings? I know I sure am. No, I sure am. Yeah. Jeff, you too. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to warn my buyers because I was like, we weren't seeing this for a long time. And it was just kind of like, oh, as they come in, now it's more like Tuesday at 11 a.m. And the house was put out on Thursday, especially when it's priced right and it looks good. Don't just sit around and, twiddle your thumbs, because those offer due dates are definitely coming back in full force. And now I also wanted to see, has anybody, well, we got 10 minutes. So we got about like 5 or so. Dominique, go ahead.
I kind of wanted to touch on the she said that an interior door, Wanda was saying an interior door was used for the front door. So yeah.
Oh no.
That's gonna
She said no, maybe like a garage. Oh,
Let me, can you hear me?
yep,
Yeah.
we did.
It was a kitchen door leading to the backyard. It was an interior door that was installed as an exterior door, and it was leading into the backyard.
Yeah, that'll be called unconventional or FHA due to the fact that an interior door is made very hollow and it'll warp within like due to like the different weathering, it'll warp. So that'll be called unconventional and FHA as well. It has to be an exterior door. Just like the doors from the if you have a listing coming on and you know that and you see that the if the garage is connected and there's and the garage is leading to the interior, that has to be a fire rated door. If not, it'll be called out, and in the appraisal, you're gonna have to fix it during escrow.
That's correct.
Yep, definitely need a class on this one. This is fire. Well, while we have like a couple of minutes, anybody getting any concerns on the, oh, go ahead, Joellen.
So we were coming down to like our final inspection contingency on my listing, and the buyers were asking for 8,500 in repairs just for like an old chimney and things my clients had already been working on. And I told the agent, I said, you know what? I said, no, I'm like, we've already put in so much work. It's a really clean house. There's some old things happening. Like we took care of like the section 1, we've done this, we've done that. I said, you know what? They don't even need to sell this house. I go, they have a house in Tahoe. I'm like, that they're ready to go. So it's not like we're contingent on them finding another house. Your clients, you know, we accepted the offer. We thought everything was going to be smooth. I'm all, but no, we can't do that. And I go, but I'll talk to my clients. But I was willing to like do the, like, we'll lose the deal. And I talked to my clients and they're like, well, do you think that they're trying to back out? That's why they want to get the credit. I said, they might be like, what is it worth to you guys? Would you want to go back on the market? And me as the agent, of course, I don't want to go back on the market, right? I want to get it done. But at the same time, I didn't feel that they needed to get that much money in credits, you know? And so the agent calls me the next day after my client had said, you know what, we're willing to give up to 2,700 for the chimney, which I think they might have done the whole 8,500, but I was like, no, that's crazy, you know? And the agent calls me the next day, you know what, we don't want that 8,500 anymore. They don't want that anymore. Do you think they would just give maybe like 1,500? I said, you know what, I think I could get 2,700 out of them for the chimney. Boom. So yeah. So I just felt like it was like a game, you know, like, because my clients didn't really have to go anywhere. They weren't worried about it, but you know, so I used that as like, I guess, negotiating, you know, on the
one-on-one.
So as the seller, we still won, I believe, because we got over asking and we didn't have to give back that 8,500.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you got to go to bat for your clients, and you just got to be able to understand both sides and just articulate and, you know, get it to the finish line. That's the biggest thing. Let's get
because I was worried, are they trying to back out too? You know what I mean? Why are they asking for 8,500? This is like so silly. Like they said that, you know, the power box, the what is it called? The utility box, or they're saying that the manufacturer's no longer around and there could potentially be a problem one day. And I was like, what? This is crazy. So
yeah,
I did work. I had the pest inspector go back out to try to see things that they called out. You know, I did everything I could do and then supported those with facts, right?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. And we're about to wrap up. So I'm about to, you know, call some people, see, well, you know, what was your takeaways from today? But one thing I will also say is, make sure that you like tap in with your people. So my last video, I had 80 reshares of it on stories, but it wasn't because people just saw it and then shared it. It was because I actually DM'd them and said, hey, I hope all is well and blessed with you in your life. I was just hoping, would you be able to repost my video just so that I can get people to have education out there about this new program that's coming out? We don't know who it may impact. And almost every single person was like, hell yeah, Jeff, I got you. Don't worry. I'm going to share it. Like, we get nervous as realtors to kind of ask about those things. but we've been pouring into a lot of people in our lives. Like we've been, you know, wishing them happy birthday. When they're sick, we're sending them messages. When they're going through something, trials and tribulations, we've been sending them positivity. So don't be afraid to also withdraw from that emotional bank as well. So, and just ask for your people. Like you'll see most people want to help you. I know a lot of times for us, we're like, oh, why don't our friends and family like repost us and stuff like that? But we don't ask them. Like closed mouths don't get fed. So sometimes we just got to go out there and say, hey, would you be willing to share this for me? And you'll see most people want to help you succeed in your business. So go out there and ask them if they can do that for you. But that was one word of encouragement that I wanted to, because at first I was sitting in the gym like, nah, I'm only going to send it to a couple of people. And then I was like, nah, let me go see who I've been interacting in my DMs this whole entire time. Sent about like 80 DMs out. And that's how I got those reposts and those reshares. And people came into my DMs. Oh, my friend shared your video. I want to set up a consultation. So just pour into people. But Daniela, what was your takeaway from today? I see you nodding your head. What's your takeaway?
Oh no, I just love hearing everybody's contribution. I'm just so grateful to be part of the team. I always take something away. I'm just grateful to be in this circle.
I love it. I love it. Hector, what about you? I see your beautiful face today.
Thanks, boss. Thanks for running it, Cynthia and Mr. JP Elias. Love it. Dominique dropped some gems today. Today, I was just like, yes, that's what we need. So it's not only preventative like recommendations, but like, can you imagine now we go in knowing how we're going to make this offer structure a little bit differently? Or like when we're going to go in for some credits, like I'm already going like this for my clients. Cause when I heard that thing, thanks for sharing regarding the oven. Remember you guys, we have a due diligence for our clients. So I actually had that issue happen to me. I got my clients a new stove and a new hood because of that. So try to shoot for that first, because I wouldn't want to just do a pass. It's about getting the best for your clients first and then figuring out the rest. But I do like that backup plan, because had that not happened, now I know what to kind of like get into. But thank you for the gems. Yes, I loved it.
Man, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. As Elias says, you know, when something comes up, we're going to keep it moving. That's what this team is about. It's about pouring into each other, but having each other's backs as well. So just in case anything comes up, tap in with any of us. We are a community. We are here all to support each other. Any conversations about the dream program, about getting your offer accepted, appraisals, we got it all for you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day, blessed week. Make sure to tap in with Catalina about any trainings, any other lenders that are doing these trainings. Get into multiple trainings so that you guys are well versed to be able to speak to your clients on this and navigate them through this process. Thank you so much, Sin, for co-hosting with me. We love you. Appreciate you guys. Have a blessed one.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.